your money is totally gone. So this is the phishing circle we have to face. Some statistics. These are the statistics, or this is a trend analysis made by the RSA Anti-Fraud Command Center. And as we can see, it's quite obvious that phishing is still a huge problem. And the amount of phishing attacks has been increased during the first month of this year. So, yeah, this statistic just shows that phishing is still a problem. I want to show you now a small video, and to make sure that, just to give you an idea how a victim, what's the perspective of a victim of phishing. So, this is the browser of the victim. He gets to a malicious website. It looks like his real banking website. What the victim now does, it submits his private credentials, for instance, the first and last name, the user ID, twice the password, the country where it comes from, and his email. After that, he will press the submit button, and yes, then you're totally phished. I mean, yeah, your credentials are gone now. Normally, there's not such a big message that tells you, okay, now your credentials are gone. Normally, they would just say, okay, there was an error, please call your info hotline, something like this. So, these phishing kits, or the scripts which are placed on the web servers and which are used for the phishing attack, they are quite easy to get. You can use several boards or a rapid share or several sources on the web where you can find them. You can download them. They are specifically created for a phishing campaign of one of these institutions, financial institutions, for instance, PayPal, eBay, etc. And you just download them. You change the email address, and then you upload it again to your phishing web server. There was a nice or a clever guy called Mr. Brain. I think he is coming from Morocco, and he says to himself, okay, there are a lot of fools out there who use my phishing kits, and what I do right now is I just upload the phishing kit as I normally do. I just prepare them and give them to the people, but I add my own email address in an obfuscated way. So the PHP script contains Mr. Brain's email obfuscated. This means that the phished accounts are going directly to the email of the guy who is using this kit, of course, but also to Mr. Brain's email. And this shows, or the obfuscation of his email, which is pretty easy to understand. It's just a permutation of some characters in an array. And this shows that these guys who use this script, they really don't know what they are doing. They just know, okay, I go to this web page, I download the newest WebKit for instance, for PayPal. I download it, I change the email addresses, then I upload it, and I mount my phishing attack. What about the server logs? I mean, the logs on the phishing web server. Again, I will show you a small video. Here you see again the browser of the victim and the log file on the phishing web server. It's just an Apache log, quite simple to understand. What happens now is the browser requests the index file, the browser passes the index file and requests the additional files like CSS files, JavaScript files, image files, etc. And after the victim has submitted his credentials, we will see soon that in this case the HTTP GET method will be used. So after the submission, you see the verify.php and all the GET parameters. These are the credentials the phisher wants. So the whole process of the victim's browser will leave traces in the log files, of course. So, what is our basic idea? Our basic idea is we want to steal the time and the effort of the phisher. Each phisher needs time and effort for validating his phished accounts. This means he gets, for instance, 100 bank accounts, phished valid bank accounts, and he has to use them. He has to analyze them and say, okay, this is a bank account for this bank. Now I go to the online banking application, I log in with the user credentials, and then I can transfer money. This needs time. And now imagine what happens if a phisher normally gets 100 phished accounts, and now he gets 100,000 phished accounts. But a lot of them, I would say 99% of them, are totally faked. We call them phony tokens. So our basic idea is, can we make the questions later, please? Our basic idea is we want to steal time and effort of the phisher. So this is called scam baiting. Scam baiting is the practice of feigning interest in a fraudulent scheme in order to manipulate the scammer. The 419ether.com website does this quite sophisticated. They try to fight Nigerian fraud campaigns. And there's also a tool called Flutter, which basically does exactly what we want to do with the FishPhucker. It's a tool for flooding the phishing databases with useless information. The problem here is that Flutter has some techniques what I really don't understand. You have to press each button manually and etc. This is not what we want to do. So, but what we have to keep in mind is this is not a new idea. Scam baiting is quite old. So our approach is phishing the phisher. We use the same techniques the phisher uses against us, but we don't want any manual interaction. We don't want the user to click some stuff, and this is all. We want to do it automatically. Therefore, we created this Firefox extension, which works with the current Firefox, and this Firefox extension distributes phony tokens for us. The phony token, I will explain soon, is a set of user credentials, but not valid one. It's totally faked. So we have one more advantage with this procedure. We can not only bait the phisher, we can also analyze him afterwards. One thing I have to make clear: the target is not the 20% sophisticated phishers. The target is the 80% who are so stupid, they just use Mr. Brain's changed phishing kits. So we call them laymen, or in Germany, VHS-Fischer. These guys, they have just little knowledge about the techniques. The sophisticated ones you will never get, or pretty hard to get. So first of all, what is a phony token? As I already said, a phony token is a set of fake user credentials created for the specific phishing campaign. This means, of course, we have to distinguish between the several campaigns. It's useless to create fake PayPal accounts if you have a phishing campaign for eBay or for another big bank. So they are generated in the context of the corresponding phishing page, for sure. And if they are implemented properly, there's no chance for the phisher that he can differentiate between real phished ones,